Dead End Hip Hop 365 DE 365. We're back with another one today. We are doing Gunna, a gift and a curse. You already see, or if you don't see, so you need to become a patron so that way you can see it. But me and Ken are here. I told you guys the disrespectful cousin that you sometimes claim, but sometimes you don't. Still here. He's still on the run. Mr. No Disrespect. Nikki, no do say. No more.
Yeah. I'm drinking smart water now.
See, Nikki the smart water. They don't have the same ring, but we'll go with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Go with it. Like I said, man, Gunna, a gift and a curse. Look, let me start here, man. Let me start here.
All right. Here go a FIFO soliloquy.
Never in my life have been a Gunna fan. I've always put him in the mumble rap category. Now, I do give him props because I feel like he does add certain textures to songs, even though he's mumbling a lot of the time and I don't get what he's saying. But from a vibe and an aesthetic, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I could fuck with Gunna. But I've never listened to a project. This is the first time that I sat down and listened to something beginning to end. And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. I was pleasantly surprised. This is not what I expected from a Gunna project. Amidst all of what was happening with YSL, with Young Thug in the Rico case, obviously Young Thug, obviously Gunna was one of the first people released, and there was a lot of speculation of him being a snitch and ratting out and all of this type of innuendo that was happening in the industry. And even Ken, we covered the 21 Savage project. We reviewed it on the channel. I know we didn't talk about it, but 21 took shots at Gunna on that project. So it was.
Oh, he did what he said.
He did. He was saying it was that
like rats and shit. Yeah, something like that.
Like he put money in your pocket, da 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 da. I can't remember the name of the song, you know me, but I saw that and I'm like, damn, he did take shots. We didn't mention it on the thing, so I'll mention it on this. But this is a good project, bro. Now let me backtrack just a little bit because this is not necessarily what would be normally in my rotation of music style of hip hop, but I am open, you know what I'm saying, to things that are good. And even though this is not the style of rap that I like or prefer, or even can say like, oh, you know what, I want to go listen. This got some joints on it, man. Like, I really fuck with this Gunna project. Now, Nick, because I already know the answer from Ken. Ken don't listen to Gunna like that. I don't know if you listen to Gunna like that. But are the majority of his projects on par with this? Or is this, again, another peak? Like, this is the mountaintop?
I love when y'all bring me on for this type of conversation because I wanted to have a grander conversation about this project and Gunna in general. FIFO, the fact that you're asking me that question tells me you haven't listened to a lot of Gunna projects, and I could give you some that will be, in my opinion, would be like you could see that he had the potential for this project. Now, not to say that we expected this from him because I don't think no one did, but I will say that if you listen to Drip Season 3, for example, run that through, and you'll be like, okay, he's had talent for a while. Yes, I've been following Gunna for a while. Kind of around the time when he started coming out with Lil Baby with the Drip Too Hard and all that stuff. Just because I kept hearing about him. And then like he was always doing stuff with Thug. I'm a Thug fan. I've been a Thug fan for a minute. So like when him and Gunna were kind of like, he was bringing the Gunna along on his label. I was like, okay, who is this kid? Let me check it out. And I've damn near been a fan since that introduction. So I've been following Gunna's career for honestly. And I was shocked by this album, primarily because of, like you mentioned, FIFO, all the stuff that kind of led up to this release, and like his affiliation with YSL. We don't know exactly what his relationship was like with Thug, but I doubt it's good. We know it's not good in the city of Atlanta. Like, you know what I'm saying? T.I. took his face off the damn trap museum or some shit like that. Like niggas expeditiously. Like, so like. I think Gunna is in an interesting place because as much as the street niggas in Atlanta are like turning their back on him, he is probably the hottest nigga in the streets in Atlanta. Like when we're talking about actual quality music, I can't think of an artist bigger than Gunna right now who has a better project outside of maybe Killer Mike. Actually, no, definitely Killer Mike. But as far as like the pocket of street music and stuff like this, that this type of rap, like I don't think there's an artist bigger than Gunna right now with a project better than this. So Ken, I'll let you go from there. But like that's kind of like where I wanted to start this conversation because we'll get into it. But yeah, go ahead, Ken.
Well, there's a reason why I'm glad you were on this one, and we had a whole conversation about Gunna on a special episode of Patreon that you guys can check out for Is the Mics Alone with Spike Lee, and he and Spike Lee going nuts. But yeah, Gunna, man, like this project did a lot for Gunna, and he was in a bad spot, and one way to get folks make folks remember your your bad shit, put out good music. And a lot of people that mess with Gunna, that listen to Gunna and maybe didn't listen to Gunna, put this on and was like, yo, like I mess with this. They look at this as his best work. It was on a lot of top 10 projects last year. So I was really interested in to listen to it because I've listened to Gunna stuff, but I'm not a Gunna fan. I'm just nosy. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I just go out and just listen to shit just to see what's going on. Mm-hmm. And just kind of track his stuff. So but yeah, I'm with Nick. Like I saw a lot of people speaking highly about this project, and it definitely is one that resonated heavy into the streets. And you're talking about an album where it's just him. There's no features.
No features. I thought we were gonna save it for the feature, the grade and all that shit, but
there's nothing to grade. That's why I need it.
That's why we're here.
And that's the beauty of it because it's like I love when an artist does shit like when Cole did this with 2014 Forest Hill Drive. He was putting this is when you push the chips in. I love when an artist pushed all the chips in and says fuck it. Kanye did it with Graduation, even though there was features on there, but like it was mostly just him. J. Cole did it with 2014 Forest Hill Drive. Drake did it with Take Care. It's like when an artist pushes the chips in and says, fuck it, I'ma just do me, and y'all gonna have to grade me off of me. This is why, like, if it wasn't for Killer Mike's album, I'd fuck around and say this is the album of the year. No. I fuck around and say this is the hip-hop album of the year. Not overall, but just like hip-hop album of the year. Because FIFO, bro, that run between, first of all, Back at It is a great intro, but that run from Cash Shit to Bottoms 5 through 8, tell me a better run on an album than that came out last year.
I could definitely say that there's a lot of projects that I like that have better runs, but
I'm talking about from flow, production to sequence, transition. Like, come on.
I could name some other joints. If you listen to 365, we already covered.
They ain't knocking like that. I'm just first of all, Bottoms. I keep listening to Bottoms, and I listen to this project a lot. Like, especially when I was in town, when I was with y'all recording just recently, I was bumping this shit all over Atlanta, and it sounds beautifully in Atlanta. Man, he is, and we're gonna get to lyrics, but he was spitting on here. He addressed everything that you would want, that you expected to him address in this project. And you could tell that there's a sadness to this project too. Because you can feel that he's by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can feel that that he feels like the whole world is kind of going against him. Like, you know what I'm saying? What you say?
No, I just say he almost got no choice.
Exactly. But it's just like
he probably was calling folks and they won't pick it up.
Exactly. And it's like, for me, it's like you can, and then he's still shouting out Thug in this, you know, or trying to throw an olive branch where he can, but it's just like this project is just it's so Atlanta as far as how trap heavy and just rider music. Like, man, the fact that he did this with no features, the beats are yeah. I'm sorry, FIFA. I'm jumping all over the place. Go ahead, my bad.
But you said that the run stopped at Bottom. To me, Pete Angels is hard as fuck too. So I don't know, like, why you stopped.
I stopped there because he wasn't spitting like any other record. Maybe on Back at It or Bread and Butter. But like Bottles is like, to me, the most lyrical song on this project. Like, as far as what he's addressing and what he's subject matter wise.
Well, Nick, this is still on Young Thug shit too.
Yeah, but I think that's contract wise. I don't think that's I don't think that, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that's like Thug is like, yeah, I want to put this nigga's album out and I'm happy to support it. I don't even think
it's just business. It was business.
Yeah, it's just business.
but Nick, I don't disagree with you. You know, for the most part, out of out of everybody, I always live like mostly in the city. You know what I'm saying? So I get a lot of the city vibes. And I could tell you like this album definitely feels like Atlanta. And this album, 100%, I would never, I never thought I would say this, Ken, but this album bumping the whip heavy, bro. Like
Bruh.
this album bumping the whip heavy. And especially if you are in Atlanta, driving through Atlanta, anytime I visit another city, my favorite artists from those cities, I play their music and I'd be like,
Yes,
can I feel the vibe that they created? You
I
know
do
what I'm
the
saying? Like,
same thing. I do the same thing. Mhm.
and I can honestly say that this encompasses Atlanta. Um, the production on this is 1,000,000% what the industry is now because Atlanta is the industry. And I would have to give this project from a production standpoint B plus, if not an A. This shit hit.
I'm going A plus. I'm going A plus, bro.
Oh damn.
I'm going
Okay.
A plus.
You say I'll be jumping out the window.
Hey, I'm going A plus because that transition from "Fuck You Mean" to Rodeo Drive. Come
Yeah.
on, FIFO in Atlanta. I know. No, coming back on Rodeo. Hey, I'm selling out the Apollo. Shit, my whole body is hot. Like his flow on that shit. Like Ken, if I could say this out loud in public, I say I haven't heard a better transition since Ignition to Ignition remix.
Oh wow. Wow. No, Nick. No, Nick. No, it wasn't that flawless. It was good, but it wasn't that. It wasn't that.
Hey, I'm telling you, bro. I can't say that out loud. I'm saying it to y'all.
With our albums to kind of
Yeah,
get in good graces with folks.
when you said that, Ken, that's the first artist I thought. I was like, this was his R. Kelly moment. Signs the P. You know what I'm saying? That's a different type of pushing P. I'm just saying, like, the production, man, is A plus, and I'm saying that also in conjunction with how he is a melodic rapper. FIFO, you mentioned like mumble rap. I don't think he really mumble raps like Thug does, but he knows how to make his voice an instrument with the beat, like the way he controls the songs and controls the rhythm. Like it's very impressive. That's why I added with the production value. It's an A plus to me.
I've always given Gunna that credit. I said like for me before this project, Gunna was always like the cherry on top. Like I've always like I never felt that Gunna could carry his own joint. I always like Gunna as a feature or as doing the hook and shit like that. And it's like he always added an aesthetic to it. So I don't disagree. When it comes to the rapping, I always categorize him as a mumble rapper. After listening to this, I have to remove him from that. He's not that. And I can't say that he hasn't been that, but on this project, he is not that. Rapping, I give him a B plus because a lot of the content that he is talking about, like he is adjusting a lot of the stuff that was happening and stuff like that. So you got to give him props for that. So I give him B plus.
Yeah, I think B feels safe for me. I think that when we talk, for me, the run Back at It is a great intro track. Back to the Moon kind of, it almost messed everything up. If I could tolerate Back to the Moon, if I could just tolerate Back to the Moon, which I probably can, I think 1 through 9 is a fucking run. And but it kind of is a little shaky for me right from 10 through 15. Production wise, I think content wise, I think he's relatively fine, but the production there gets into stuff that I don't typically like. But in terms of him rapping and what he's saying, I think just the fact content wise to be able to address directly some of the things that's being said, like that takes balls. Like you were a joke, a meme. Like people like use you to reference, snitching and shit like that, bro. That's not cool. So for you to like face that, to pull to a certain degree your Eminem, your 8 Mile to a certain degree, and to not run away from that takes balls, man. And I think he did that. But I like Cash shit. I just love like
Cash shit is hard,
so
bro.
fucking crazy.
That
bro.
shit is hard.
Yeah, man, that shit is fucking nuts, bro. So yeah, I applaud him for that. So yeah, but I'm at a B. I mean, I don't know if he's the most lyrical for me, but I think on some street shit, some Atlanta shit, he definitely is serving. So yeah.
If we're talking about the technical side, it's a B plus. But the way the project feels, it feels like he's saying a lot of shit. Like so the way sonically, the way his delivery and performance kind of it wraps you around the experience you having. At least for me, like when I think you know what I mean. When you bump this in the whip and you hear everything, it sounds like it's just like surround sound around you. You kind of just feel it, like you feel it more than you are like listening to it. But B plus as far as lyrics, like I mean, he's not saying the most lyrical miracle shit, of course, but he's actually saying something, which is I think surprising because what you said, Ken, like he addressed the shit. Like, when was the last time we seen a rapper be the poster child for snitching and come out with an album like this?
Right.
Like,
unheard of.
I can't even think of that, which is why I'm like, I'm giving him all the credit he deserves on this because out of everybody who I thought could do it, he was the last one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't disagree.
So I gotta give you all the credit. Like, it's like when Dirk won the ring against the Heat. Like, no one thought he was gonna win. I gotta you a Hall of Famer now, certified.
I feel like I hear I don't know no more like everywhere.
Yeah, fuck you mean went viral.
Yeah, fuck you mean went viral.
Meme music and all that shit, TikTok, IG reel, all that shit. Fuck you mean went crazy.
But to me, the B sides of this project go crazy a lot. Like I mentioned, bread and butter. Like shit. Like there's some shit on here that's like you could tell like when he does like. When he goes to shows, like people are gonna really, really just rock out to like damn near the whole project. Because I'm on YouTube listening to different songs and seeing the comments, like you know what I'm saying. Like it's like these is like millions of views on this shit. Like it's
Nick, what would you give it overall? Is this an A plus for you?
It's an A. It's an A. It's a solid A.
Yeah, I agree with an A. I agree with an A. What about you, Ken?
I got to penalize it from. Oh, I was just thinking. That's the one I feel like I hear that one a lot too. But no, I got to penalize it for 10 through 15. So I think I'm at a solid B, bro. I think I'm at a solid B.
I get what you mean, Ken. It does kind of like you go on a great run and you kind of like slow down a little bit. Mm-hmm. So it does kind of slow down, but like to me, it's like this reminds me like of Young Thug So Much Fun. Like which I love. That's my favorite Thug project.
Do you think I already know Ken's answer, but do you feel that some artists they just go on their projects just a little too far? Meaning, like instead of having 15 or 17 joints, have 10 or 11. Like
streaming era, though, bro. I get what you mean, but it's streaming era.
Yeah, I just feel for the quality of the project, more concise means that you have less opportunities to miss.
You know what? I feel you, but I think that depends on the person you're talking to. So in theory, I think you're absolutely correct. But I think because I'm not this big time Gunna fan, there's more opportunity. Well, to what you're saying, there's more opportunities for me to be like, nah, that ain't it.
Yeah.
Than it would be for a regular Gunna fan. So a Gunna fan, they may like
all of it,
3 out of those 5 or 4 out of those 5. But me, I'm like, nah.
No, my homeboy brought up the question at this point in time. We don't know how long. I hope Thug doesn't go away at all, period. But we don't know how long he's gonna be out the game. Is Gunna at this point in his stage moving forward going to be looked at as, better than Thug, or like in taking that mantle as far as?
I don't think so.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think only him and Thug can do the stuff that they do. Like I think that's how unique they are. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. But I think Young Thug has like the hits. You know what I'm saying? So like if we start to compare, it's like Gunna got joints, but he don't have the Young Thug hits.
I don't know, but we don't know how. But again, that's what I'm saying. Like we don't know how long Thug is gonna be away, and Gunna's gonna have more time to do more shit.
And I don't know if it's hits. I think Young Thug just has a presence that hip hop like. So many people in hip hop fuck with Thug, bro, that you wouldn't even think fuck with Thug.
No, 100%.
It's crazy. So I think Thug has.
He's on the Killer Mike project. Yeah.
Yeah, he is something about Thug that people just fuck with, bro.
Bro, he was on Nipsey's project. Like everybody fuck with Thug. And here's the thing, even though he may be away, let's be honest, he has hella shit that he's recorded, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna see in the next year, this year, and probably next year, shit that was been recorded that's just being released as features. Obviously, I'm not saying his own project. He may have his own project, we don't know, but definitely features. Because what was the one that we just on 21's joint? You know what I'm saying? And on Kid Cudi joint, he was on there.
Yeah, he's
you know what I'm saying? So like, and we're talking 2024. He was locked up all of 2023. So I think we're gonna see young Thug still in music. You know what I'm saying? But we shall see though.
But is the crowd available for the taking? That's the thing. So I don't know if Gunna can take that spot, because I don't know who's gonna be calling Gunna.
I feel you.
So and that's the thing that makes me more intrigued by that, because it's like, okay, let's assume no one calls Gunna. If he still keeps going on this run by himself, that speaks volumes, because then no one in Atlanta can deny him. Then you're gonna have to call him. You're gonna have to, because business wise, if business wise Thug is still willing to put his album out on his label, then business wise somebody gonna fuck around and collaborate with him and say like, look, nigga, he may be a snitch, but he got the hits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's still, we still don't know if he's a snitch. That's still not.
Regardless, the perception is the reality of that. Perception is reality of hip hop, man. It don't matter if it's true or not.
I mean, you know how the streets go, but at the same time, when it's all said and done, if it comes out that he didn't snitch, then he didn't snitch, regardless of how we feel right now. So we shall see. The shit's not over, but Gunna is hot. Gunna definitely has a really good project. Something I would have never thought Ken would say or I would say. Nick, that's a whole nother thing. But look, like I said, man, today is a day. You guys got a review. Tomorrow's another day, so you can get another review. And Nick is still here, man. I told you, man, it's the cousin you can't get rid of, bro. It's the cousin that sometimes you claim you can't get rid of. But tomorrow will be his last day. We packing him up and shipping him home after tomorrow. But we love Nick. He's welcome after we send him home. He could come back whenever he likes. But we got a really good one. One of my favorite artists. Can you guess? Because it's only that list has grown over the years, but he's at the top of the list. But we shall see. Can you guess who it is? But we'll be back tomorrow with another one. We out. Peace.
Yes.